You ever have that moment when you stumble into a crazy conspiracy theory, laugh it off, and then one day you find out it's not only true, but worse than you imagined? That's where I live now. The world isn't quite as wholesome as the brochures would have you believe. And tonight, we're going to peel back the wallpaper of history and see what's been crawling underneath. You and I are about to take a walk through a maze of official documents, whistleblower confessions, and dusty archive files that were never supposed to see the light of day. The kind of secret that starts with a whispered "what if" and ends with a stamped Declassified label. But fair warning, these are not urban legends. These are the ones that actually happened. The first time I realized the government could look you in the eyes and smile and lie wasn't because of some Hollywood thriller. It was because of a manila envelope. I was digging through a stack of declassified files from the CIA when I found a phrase so chilling it stuck in my throat. Sub-Project 68, Psychic Driving. It was part of MKUltra, a decades-long CIA experimental in mind control. And here's the kicker. This isn't some fringe theory. It's been confirmed. They took unwitting citizens, pumped them full of LSD, subjected them to sensory deprivation, and rewired their brains like they were faulty computers. One Canadian woman went in for what she thought was depression treatment and came out unable to recognize her own family. Her husband had to reteach her how to cook, how to dress herself, her entire life erased in the name of national security. That's when I learned the golden rule of conspiracy. If it sounds too crazy to be true, give it about 20 years. And then there's the Tuskegee Syphilis Study. Picture this, 1932, Alabama, hundreds of black men are told they're being treated for bad blood. The government doctors, they never actually treated them. Even when penicillin became a cure, they withheld it, just to watch the disease ravage their bodies for 40 years. Families destroyed, lives lost, all in the name of research. You know how the truth came out? Not from an official apology, from a whistleblower who couldn't stomach it anymore. By now you're probably thinking, well, that was a long time ago. They wouldn't try that now. About that. Flashed in the 1960s and 70s, COINTELPRO, if you were speaking out, organizing protests, or pushing for civil rights, the FBI had a file on you. They infiltrated activist groups, spied on Martin Luther King Jr., even sent him anonymous letters suggesting he should end his life. That's not conspiracy theory paranoia. Those letters are published. Look it up for yourself. The very people sworn to protect your rights were actively working to dismantle them from the inside. And the rabbit hole goes deeper. In 1962, the US military drafted a plan called Operation Northwoods. Their idea? Stage fake terrorist attacks on American soil, even sink ships with real civilians, just to justify a war with Cuba. It never went forward. But the fact that it made it into official paper is enough to make you question every incident that sparks a war. I remember when I first read about Project Sunshine. It sounded beautiful. Sunshine, light, warmth, until you get to the part about how they collected human tissue samples from dead children without the family's consent, all to study the effects of nuclear fallout. Imagine burying your loved one and never knowing some stranger in a lab was cutting them open for science. And then there's Watergate. It's the conspiracy that made everyone a little more cynical. A burglary in the Democratic National Committee office? Just some petty crime? No. It was political espionage operation run out of the White House itself. The cover-up unraveled so fast it forced presidents to resign. And to this day, the recordings of those conversations sound less like the leaders of the free world and more like a mob boss trying to keep his family business clean. The thing is, every time one of these wild theories turns out to be true, it doesn't just rewrite history. It makes you wonder, what's hiding in today's locked files? The conspiracies of tomorrow are just the classified documents of today, waiting for someone with the right clearance or the right conscience to bring them to light. And maybe that's the scariest part, not the fact that these things happen, but the fact that they happen in plain sight. People saw, people knew, and still the machine kept turning. So the next time you hear about a crazy theory, maybe just don't laugh it off so quickly. After all, history has a habit of proving conspiracy theorists right. Like, share, subscribe. You never know when the next declassified file might drop into our laps. And when it does, you'll want to be here to see it. Have a good night, guys. Bye.